Okay, for the last year or so, all anyone can talk about is a few big US tech stocks, right? But what if I told you the real alpha, the most exciting opportunity, isn't in Silicon Valley, but in Seoul? We're about to unpack a huge, seriously overlooked play, the Korea trade. Just look at that number. Plus 71.9%. And no, that's not some crazy crypto coin going to the moon. That's the year-to-date return of one single world-class tech company, a company that is literally powering the entire AI revolution. And you know what? Most of Wall Street is completely missing it. Look, the S&P 500 is fine. It's a great benchmark, but let's be real. Right now, it is the crowded trade. It's expensive, and honestly, everyone and their cousin is piling into the exact same stocks. And whenever a trade gets that obvious, you can bet the real alpha has already packed its bags and moved to a different time zone. And this chart just says it all, doesn't it? That solid blue line, that's the company we're going to be talking about. The dotted gray line below it, that's what you get if you just buy the generic Korea ETF. And that huge gap, that giant shaded area between them, that is what we're here for. That's the alpha. That's all the performance you're leaving on the table by just taking the lazy, passive route. So let's break this down. It really is a tale of two trades. You've got the easy, passive way, and then you've got the smart, focused strategy that actually unlocks this kind of incredible performance. I mean, just look at how massive this difference is. You've got Samsung Electronics, the AI engine, up almost 72%. Then in the middle, HYBE, the company behind BTS, up 47%. And way over on the right, the S&P 500, with a respectable, I guess, but comparatively tiny 12.4% gain. The opportunity here is just, it's screaming at you. Okay, so the big question is, why is all this happening right now? What changed? Well, the answer is simple. A huge, long-standing problem with the Korean market, something called the Korea discount, is finally over. You have to understand, for decades, investing directly in South Korea was almost impossible for outsiders. The market was basically a fortress, completely wrapped in red tape. It was designed to keep foreign money out. And because of that, some of the best companies in the world were trading at artificially cheap prices. And what were the walls of this fortress made of? Oh, just a nightmare of paperwork called an Investor Registration Certificate, or IRC. Then you had to navigate these super complex foreign ownership rules, and the whole thing could get stuck in bureaucratic delays for up to 3 months. So what did most investors do? They just threw up their hands and bought a basic ETF instead. But here's the thing. This is the big signal that almost everyone missed. In 2025, those walls came crashing down. The gates that created that whole Korea discount, they've been thrown wide open. And let's just put some numbers on that, okay? What used to be a 3-month-long ordeal is now a 5-minute process. You can do it right from your normal brokerage account. The friction, the hassle, it's gone. It's basically zero. And that changes absolutely everything. All right, the gates are open. So let's dive into the first massive opportunity this unlocks. We're calling it the AI Foundry play, and it's all about the company that is building the actual physical heart of the AI revolution. This quote just nails it. Think about it. Most tech investors, they own the storefronts, right? The Apples of the world that sell you the shiny new phone. They own the architects like NVIDIA who design the brilliant chips inside. But here's what they're missing. They're missing the foundry, the place where it's all actually built. And that foundry is Samsung Electronics. So to really get why this is so important, we have to talk about something called HBM, or high bandwidth memory. Just think of it like this. It's the super fuel for AI chips. It's the essential high-performance memory they need to actually work. NVIDIA can design the most powerful AI brain on the planet, but without HBM, that brain literally can't think. And guess who is a total beast at making it? Samsung. And this is where the opportunity gets really, really interesting. You've got this massive valuation gap. Right now, investors are falling over themselves to pay a huge premium for the US companies that design the AI tech. But at the same time, the Korean companies that manufacture the guts of it all are trading at a historic discount. That gap, that disconnect, that's the whole play right there. And that brings us right back to this number. That 71.9% return for Samsung, That's not some random fluke. That is the sound of the market finally waking up and realizing that in the world of AI, the foundry is every bit as important as the architect. But hold on, because this isn't just a tech story. It's not all about chips. The second, equally powerful part of the Korean trade is about cashing in on one of the biggest cultural phenomenons on the entire planet. Yeah, forget silicon for a second. We have to talk about the cultural moat. And in Korea, that means one thing: K-pop. And we're not just talking about any band. We're talking about the agency behind the global superstars, BTS. We're talking about HYBE. Now, here's the kicker. HYBE has this huge, time-sensitive event coming up. In 2026, BTS is scheduled to make their full return as a group. That's going to unlock just insane amounts of revenue. Tours, albums, merch, you name it. And the market knows it. The smart money isn't waiting until 2026. It's starting to price that in right now. And that's exactly why HYBE is already up 47% this year. People are getting in before the big announcements. Let me be clear. If you wait until you see the posters for the reunion tour, you've already missed the boat. Okay, so we've laid out the opportunity. We see the two big plays. Now for the most important part. How do you actually get in on this and capture that alpha for yourself? This table really just makes it a no-brainer. You could buy the standard Korea ETF, right? Ticker EWY. But here's the problem. You only get a little bit of Samsung, it's diluted, and worse, you get absolutely zero exposure to HYBE, none. So to get that full, concentrated access to both pillars of this trade, you have to go direct. It's the only way to get that alpha-driven return, and you'll pay lower fees too. But wait, there's actually one more thing. I guess you could call it the secret weapon, the cherry on top that makes this whole trade even sweeter for international investors. 0%. That's the capital gains tax you pay as a foreign investor on South Korean stocks. Zero. The government over there wants to bring in foreign money, so they've made it unbelievably attractive. You make the profit, you keep the profit. Simple as that. So here it is, your watch list. For the AI foundry play, you've got Samsung Electronics, ticker 005930. For the K-culture monetization, you've got HYBE, ticker 352820. Look, the gates are open, the reasons are crystal clear, and all the advantages are lined up. So really, there's only one question left for you to answer. Are you positioned to capture this alpha?